guys, it's Ella. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a simple, easy dorm tutorial which should hopefully not cost you too many diamonds. If you're new to the game and just have no clue how to decorate your dorm, this will be super helpful, but even if you've been playing the game for a while and just want a bit of inspiration, this is also great. Let's get straight into the video. When you first join, or if you buy a new dorm like I have, you will have a dorm that looks just like this. All the walls will just be this plain kind of like brown color. You have a balcony, which if you're in, well, this is actually a bit different. I think if you're in campus 4, I'm pretty sure the balcony opens, but as of right now I'm just in campus 3 because there is a lot less lag. That's a good hack. If you want to build, I recommend being in campus 3 because there is less lag than campus 4. And also the time of day doesn't change, so it's much easier to just keep building at the same like colors and everything. So first you're going to want to go into decorate, into furniture, and you can see all the different things you can buy. If you're like me and you've already bought some items, you might have a bunch in your inventory, or you might just have to buy them from shopping, and this can get really expensive, but I'm going to attempt to keep this dorm under like 100k, which sounds expensive at first, but considering dorms are usually like millions of diamonds, it's quite cheap for a dorm. I did try my best to try and keep it around 100k, but in the end it ended up being a bit more like 200k, which for a dorm is still pretty cheap. It just means you'll have to get a little bit more before you do this build. The other features you can use are switch rooms, so if you're like me and you have multiple dorms, you can click that and then you have the option to switch between your dorms, but it's not letting me show you right now. And construction, this is how you change the wall colours, the door colours, loads of different things, the lights, the balcony, but I'm pretty sure that this requires a certain level to access it. Anyway, let's move on to furniture. I'm going to be using the stuff from my inventory since I don't really have any diamonds at the moment. I think I've got like 7,000 or something. Oh, 12,000, but it's not enough for a dorm, but I'll keep track of how much everything is and try to keep it as low as I possibly can. A lot of this will just be a time lapse, but for some bits I will explain what I'm doing. My game was completely glitched, so I had to leave and come back to it a bit later. If this happens to you, make sure you just leave, maybe give it some time and then rejoin. Here's the little remote you can use to control the furniture. These buttons go undo and redo, then you can go forward, right, left and back, which I'm showing, up and down. They are just exactly what they seem like they'd be. Then the transform tool changes the, toggle of the item. So if you have outfits, it works the same as toggles, like if you're placing accessories down. And there is usually a lot of different toggles. The size, you can just make it bigger or smaller, but I think there might be a limit on how big. And then you can of course paint it like you would any item. You can reset it, so I think that takes it back to toggle 1. And then there is lots of different ways to tilt it, which gets a little bit confusing, but you'll get the hang of it eventually if you've never decorated your dorm. And then if you're really stuck, there is this in-game menu that tells you how to do everything. At first I just had no clue what to do with this room and how to do it. I used a lot of these bookshelves, but they're like 20,000 diamonds each, so that was not very budget friendly. I ended up remembering that there are these Teen Dream platforms, which is what you can see me using now. These are only 5k and they can make like extra walls. So if you're like got a really big dorm but not a lot of diamonds, the best thing you can do is block some of the walls off so that there is a bit less space in the dorm and you can make it look more full and more detailed. Another thing to note is that some of the beds and stuff that I used I got for free, well kind of for free, but in the last advent calendar. So I think that was in 2023, so it's unlikely that most of you have these items as they are kind of old and pretty rare to get. especially now since advent calendars haven't come back. So it could cost a little bit more for you if you're doing this, since you have to buy like the bed and stuff, but hopefully it isn't a huge change. If you want a rug in your dorm like I do, then you're best adding a handle because they're a lot cheaper than rugs. I think some of the rugs are like 20,000 diamonds and these are just a few thousand diamonds and they look just as cute. Here you can see I added a lot of clothes and accessories. I didn't add these to the final price of the dorm since you can just use whichever ones you already have for your avatar. And on the same theme of adding stuff that you already had, if you add like the textbooks you get for free, your water bottle for like basketball class, your phone, your computer, these are all things that you get free in the game, just like to do with the school. So if you add them in, it's just little touches that make it look better, but it keeps it nice and cheap. Honestly, I feel like a good thing they could add would be like a dorm starter pack. Like, I think when you get a dorm, it should come with a bed and maybe a desk. I think that'd be a really cool idea for the game. Another tip is to make sure that you stick to a sort of colour palette. If you like me and you just want a load of colour, then you could just go for like a pastels kind of rainbow colour scheme, but as long as that goes through the whole dorm, it will look nice. Or if you want a different kind of thing, maybe pick a few colours that are your main colours and then make sure everything ties in nicely together. Here I was nearly finished. I just wanted to add a few final touches of some mirrors and some other pieces on the walls to make it just a little bit less boring. So that is my finished dorm. I really love how it turned out. I think the style of the whole thing, or the pastels, I really love. And I actually managed to do this pretty quickly. As someone who's like really slow at building and coming up with ideas, I did this in like an hour and a half, I think, which I think is pretty good. And all the areas are like really useful, you know, it has everything you could need in a dorm. all the the closet area, the school area, the kind of desk, a bed so that you can get your moods up. And there's a lot of space as well. Since I use Teen Dream platforms, there's a lot of space to expand, and if you have a bigger budget you can build on this and maybe add like a kitchen area if you're like really creative, or even just another lounge area. Anything you want to, you could definitely add it. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments of this dorm, if you're going to use it or if there's anything I could have done better. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more Royale High content. Bye!